Hello and welcome everybody to the God of Games Season 12 podcast. It is the big Season 12. My Time Now is the official title and theme, and the prize is $220. It is February 2nd. What am I talking about? February 5th, 2026. Long day, guys. I am here mostly alone. There's some people listening, but yeah, it's just me today. And they will be competing for $220. Now, the big twist this season is if you're familiar with the challenge, it kind of has a inspired Invasion of the Champions twist to it. And with that being said, it basically means we have 20 people that have never won Gacha games before. Some of these people have played one time, some of these people have played 9 times and lost. So it's truly a mixed bag. And in addition to those 20 people, they have no idea that 11 champions will also be playing the game at the same time, but also separately. And we will crown 2 winners at the end of the season, one champion and one contender. In addition, we have the infamous Marble Mansion twist, which we're bringing back from season 4. It was probably one of my favorite twists from, I would argue season 4 is probably my favorite season I've ever done. So, it's been over a couple years since we've done this twist and we're finally bringing it back. So I'm very excited about that. Um, that being said, we have 31 people on the cast, a lot to talk about, a lot to go through. So, because I'm alone, I guess I get to yap. Oh, wait, fuck. We do have one person who will be helping me go through the names. So, please give a round of applause to my newest production member, Michael.
Hi,
How are you feeling on the other side of the game?
I'm good. It'd be interesting to see how everyone plays out in their confessionals. I've never really been part of a production team before, so it'd be interesting to see how people play.
100%, 100%. Um, I'm really excited to talk about these people. So, without further ado, let's get started. For those of you guys who have watched some of these or whatnot, I typically do my own little power rankings. I don't think too much about it. I literally typically do them like 5 minutes before I like start recording. So, for this video, in the sake of the podcast, I decided to rank the contenders 20th to 1 and the champions 11th to 1, considering they're in their own separate brackets. So we'll be going based on my little ranking list today. So starting in at number 20. And you guys, Michael and Thomas, obviously Thomas is here too. Shout out to Forex who got banned. I will be reading his messages as well, somewhat. So if you have anything insightful to say, feel free to type it. But yeah, coming in at number 20, we have, let me pronounce this name right because the numbers always fucking throw me off. We have Brian the King underscore 6, I believe. Brian the King underscore 6. Brian has been on 4 seasons and he's only made it through 11 episodes. 0-4 elimination record, 5 challenge wins, but those were all like team wins, I'm pretty sure. So 0-4 in eliminations. Brian Thomas, you played season 8 with him. He was on the Team Heaven team for, I think he was on that season. Maybe he was. I don't fucking remember. Yeah, so he was there for like point 0.2 fucking seconds, I believe. So, um, yeah. Wait, Brian was on the villains team. Fuck, I don't even know where this dude was, to be honest. The thing about Brian is if he's not on the season, he's like one of the 3 people contending to get like a season pass to be on another season of GOTA games. He's always pretty much says yes. I've seen him in a couple other long terms. He is British, I believe. He's a younger contestant, I will say. That's and for the longest time he's kind of have had like a joke kind of like performance of I'm trying to equate like a challenge equivalent of someone that always goes home like hella early. Like but kind of he's kind of like an ace or like, Tyree or like who else is like oh, Danny almost. But I mean, yeah, he's kind of in the British connection. He's more for the older school gotta game player connected with like, like Tasha or Jelly or like Flo would know him who's on this cast. People that played like Jelly's The Challenge game. Shout out to that. I hear it's making its comeback. Michael, I'm assuming you don't know who this is, so I'm not gonna ask you to say anything about him.
No, I don't.
And Thomas, you, you don't, yeah. So we're just gonna. I put him all the way at the bottom. I just, he played the original season 4. He was in the Redemption House very early on, and I just don't see a world where even if he can slide by a few rounds with this format, which is very possible, I don't see a room where he physically has what it takes to win. Um, Coming up in number 19, this person is a lot better at competitions, but based on how last season went and need I say controversy based on claims made against their character, this person I have lower because of that. So I have at number 19, I have Shane, Clash Helsing. Thomas, if there was ever a time for you to unmute, it would be this one. But um, listen, I'm not around the long term community that much, and I had my cast like decided before some other things happened and some other details came to light, and so Shane is, he's young. He is someone that still has a lot of growing up and maturity to go through. That's for sure. I'm not defending any of his actions or allegations made against him because I don't really know what those are. Not the not what I really want to be talking about on the podcast, but strictly talking about his game contributions and whatnot. He's played 2 seasons, season 9 and season 11. Kind of crazy, right? He's been on 14 episodes, won 5 dailies, has a 2-1 elim record. Um, Last season we saw him get sniped in the Battle of the Sexes twist, along with someone else who we'll be talking about. And ultimately, he's a very controversial figure, and he has been seen to kind of follow a group of people, and a lot of the people he typically follows are not currently in the game, or will be like like or just aren't in the season at all. And so I think he's gonna have a hard time, and I could easily see him finding himself in one of the first eliminations. If he just doesn't say it, if he says anything at all, basically. Um, Michael, do you have anything to say about Shane?
To be honest, I don't really. I've heard of the name, and I feel like I played a season with him,
I played
but
two.
I um um but from the fact that you said he's young, that does kind of make me lean back a bit because of like, at least from my experience, anyone who's like young and plays in this org seems to be like the most immature people ever. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't really know. I think physically, with the Redemption House and stuff, he can stay in the game for a while. But eventually, you'll be sitting in the Redemption House, and then like eventually there's gonna be heavy hitters that enter there if he's gets eliminated early. And gotta games, it's got its fair amount of crapshoots. And so regardless if you're really good at comps, if you're just consistently going into eliminations, eventually you're gonna win. I mean lose. Ugh. Coming at number 18. Speaking of getting screwed in that same episode, um, I guess you could say bitch is mad. That's why they call them Maddie. Cause coming in at number 18, I have Kuromi Pink Kitty Cat, otherwise known as Maddie, who played 5 episodes before ultimately going home due to her arguments with Marina and Let's. Um, I've known Maddie for quite a while, honestly, and I can't say I don't think she's like ever outperformed me in the long term, which is kind of embarrassing because I'm pretty shit. That being said, she is the type of player to be pretty social when she tries, but I think when you put her in a cast with where she has a lot of friends, she kind of just doesn't give a fuck as much. You know, there's that safety element, that shield element. And honestly, like looking at this cast, it's a lot of old GOG players, and I don't see her having the connections that she did last time. So if she doesn't actually reach out and try to talk to some of these people, like she might easily be going home or going to these eliminations early because if they think that champions are entering the game, they're gonna think that they're her friends. So I could easily see that painting a target on her back. And I do like I think she's decent at Roblox. She's not like bad by any means, but there are some people on here that I think are better, and because of her lack of social relationships, I ultimately have her at number 18. Michael?
Yeah, so I know Maddie. Me and Maddie are quite close. Me and Maddie have always like sort of supported each other. Like we don't really talk as often, but we're like this type of friendship where you sort of you don't talk much, but you always support each other. But I do think in this cast, especially in the newbie side, she's kind of fucked. On the newbie side, sorry, the non-champ side. She is kind of fucked. I feel like the only people that she may be able to like talk to and like, align with is like Jonas, Jason. Um, yeah, it's probably about it. But like, I feel like if a bunch of champions got into the game early, like some of her friends, she does have a chance of making. Does have a oh my god, sorry. Does a, does have a chance of making a deep run. Sorry, by the way, I am sick. Um, but yeah, she. I think if a bunch of champs, if her friends get into the main game early, um, I reckon she can make it deep. I don't think she can win though.
I definitely agree. Um, Coming in at number 17, this is another person that was just on last season. Um, this next person, this person has a drive to win. I think, he always cares more than I would expect like normal person who is playing my game. It's just he's such a like wild card in terms of the game, and not like necessarily like a comp beast that's like winning all these comps and like playing. No, he's kind of just like there in a way. But I respect him and I respect what he puts in the series. So at number 17, I have Natu Latu 7, aka Nat, who was on last season and he also played season 9. There are a lot of people that like played season 9, skipped 10, and were on like 11. And so like he falls into that category. He made it pretty far last season, I would say, farther than his first time around. He has 11 episodes, 3 challenge wins, but he's 0-2 in eliminations, and I think that's something that definitely scares me. Um, I think if people utilize him as a wild card in a number of sides start to form, he could make a decent run, but at the same time, he's such an easy vote, and his like challenge skills aren't that good, so I can't physically rank him that much higher. There's nothing really notable to talk about with him yet. He hasn't made any big splashes, but I think overall, if anything, like his drive and his passion is something that I gave him to put on this season. Michael, did you have any interactions with him on last season?
Who's this? Sorry.
Nat?
Nah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've played 2 seasons with her now. I think. No, maybe I haven't. But last season, yeah, me and her kind of didn't like each other because she was like closely aligned to Kian, and yeah, that was fucked. And then she sort of like when Kian did his whole explosion, we stopped talking to each other, me and Nat, and like yeah, there was a bunch of arguments me and Nat had, um, with Kian. But yeah, I don't like her, so she's a chop. But um, yeah, good luck to her.
Best of luck to Nat. Next up at number 16, I have someone from another person from the Michael side of the world. I have Benji the Gamer 909, aka Ben. He's been on 3 seasons now. This will be his fourth. He was on. He started on season 7, Blood and Boxes, partnered with Adam, and then he played season 9 and season like 10, I believe, where both he kind of like went out pretty early. In all of those 3 seasons, he's only been on 13 episodes. He's won 2 challenges. He does have an elimination win against, ooh, I want to say like, it was somebody, oh, he won against like Seth and My Bash Chris in season 7. However, has 3 losses. He's never been to a final. Um, Ben is like a weird character. He also falls into like that weird wild card role, like the middle of, I guess what you would consider the middle of the series now, since we're on season like 12. But he's never been like a main character. He's never had like a huge impact on things. He's always kind of been like a escape easy goat type vote. I think if anything, he needs Adam to help him get into alliances. That being said, because there are a good amount of people from season 7, people like Charlie and other people will like talk about, like I do think he has a chance to like slide by, but at the same time, like I think once, because let's talk about it real quick. The first like 6 rounds of the game, it's still going to be at 20 people. For 6 rounds, there's still going to be 20 people left. But then after that, once the numbers start dwindling, I think his invisibility cape might go away, and I could see him going into eliminations. I just don't know. I don't trust him physically enough to put him higher, and I don't trust his social game enough to put him higher. Do you know anything? Do you have anything to say, Michael?
No, I don't know who this person is.
All right. Valid. Moving on to best of luck to Benji. Moving on to number 15, we have Benji's Blood versus Water esque partner, Adam Kindlefire 34. Now, Adam has played 4 seasons. Um, actually, wait, fuck, is my chart wrong? Yeah, okay, he's played 5 seasons. um, he has 26 episodes. 2 challenge wins, 4 elimination wins, 4 elimination losses, 0 finals, 0 championships, and 5 seasons played. So the thing with Adam is like he is he's friends with Ben and he's also British, but he also has a step above a little bit socially, and I do think he cares more than Benji does at the end of the day. And he does have some impressive moments in God of Games. Um, for example, he did end up taking out Josh on season 10. I'm sure you remember that, Thomas. He did his big one. Um and on his rookie season he did do decent. He won 2 eliminations before losing being partners with Josh right before the final. So he has come very close before, but I don't like ever since his first season, he's kind of struggled a bit. Like on season 9, he was with Michael and getting first boot, and you know, in season 7 him and Ben did meh. And then like obviously season 10 he had a decent run, but never really had the, connections to get out of where he was. This season I think it might be a little bit different. I think he has better connections, and if he can socially apply himself, I think he might be in a decent position, because if it does become like Abhay and Adore and Friends versus like the rest of the God of Games usuals, then I think he can slide by for a bit. Do you have any thoughts on Adam?
No, I don't know. I don't know who this person is either, but there seems to be a lot of OGs of God Games people. It'd be quite interesting to see, like, all Justina's group and all that take on all those, because last season was very much a one-sided season. So it'd be interesting.
100%. I think Adam could make a deep run. Um, at number 14, this person, I love this person, and part of me is sad that they're returning only because they can never top what they did their first time around. This is Becca. She is coming in for her second season. She's actually pretty high in the money leaderboard with, I believe, $40 along with Logan in terms of money won. She played 1 time in season 7, It was the Blood and Boxes season, the duo season, and she ended up winning two eliminations, the last two before the final with Logan, and she ended up sending home Ryan Sharpie, who's a God of Games winner, Ethan Triple Zero, God of Games winner, Kiara Corday, and AJ. Um, and were they two fluky eliminations, aka Monopoly and Tetris? Yes. But was it hilarious and iconic as fuck? Of course. And so she has 11 episodes, one challenge win, two loss or two elimination wins, no losses, one final and one season played. So probably for a losing finalist, one of the most iconic games as a one-time player you could ever have. And so I genuinely had no thought of ever seeing her again, but she is back with her bestie. And like I said, this is season 7, so this is almost like 2 years ago now. So the fact that they're both back is kind of like crazy to me. I she is like not that good at Roblox, which she no shade to her, like she'll fully admit that. But I appreciate her presence. And season 7 was a really weird time, and it was a two-sided game. And so she was putting in like her and Logan are very social and strategic. So I'm very excited just to see her return, and I think people are gonna be shook, especially people like that were on that season when they see her come back. Do I have high expectations of her? No, but I'm gonna enjoy her for what she's there for. I'm assuming I mean, Michael, you probably don't have anything to say. I mean,
No.
yeah. Um, moving on, you know, I just had Benji and Adam back to back, so it's only right that I have Becca and Logan back to back. Logan is someone who debuted on my sixth season of Gata Games. He made a decent run for someone that doesn't really do Roblox as well. He got to episode 8 after he technically got eliminated the first round, but then because of basically having to get rid of someone, he ended up coming back. Um, Logan is been on 19 episodes in 2 seasons. He has two elimination wins, two losses, one final, and two seasons played. And honestly, like when I was thinking about it, I thought he was on like more than that. But he is someone that I think had he been saying yes, he would have played a lot more because it's one thing to not be good at Roblox, it's another thing to not be good at Roblox and not have a social game or not have a strategical game at all. And where he lacks in his physical game, he plays the hell out of the social and the strategical game. So I completely appreciate all he does for that. Um, so he has two. That being said, I don't think along with Becca, I don't think he can top that season he had most recently. But he has been DMing me about he was shading AJ, saying, "Oh, thank God he's not on the cast and shit." Like that was a funny rivalry back in the day. And he is someone that is very present in the game. And so I think with how the past couple seasons have been, we need more present social and strategic players that are actually gonna make moves and change shit up. So I'm really happy to have him back. Obviously, like Michael, you wouldn't know anything about this person either, so we're gonna keep going. Um, moving on, we're gonna go on to number 12. This person was on last season actually, and a part of the reason I'm bringing them back is because I played when I played the Fortune Trials with them, they had so much potential, and I figured, getting they kind of fucked over their partner hard this season, and their laptop broke and blah blah blah. This is a younger member of the community as well, but this is Hardwood Warrior 23, AK Hardy. He's been on 6 episodes, 2 challenge wins, one loss, no limb wins, and he was just on As We Watched. And I don't really know what to say. I think when I first saw him step in, he seemed so excited to play, and he was decent. He was playing the game, but at the same time, he kind of disappeared for that period of time. So I don't really know what to expect. I'm hoping he brings the drive and the energy that he had at the beginning of last season because I know he's very physically capable, and I think that's why I have him leapfrogged over so many people. Socially and strategically, I think he can. Um, but I don't hang for a little bit, but I don't know how much he's going to be able to do that. And there are so many more pre-existing relationships, so I could very easily see him going in a couple eliminations. I don't think it'll be like that, like right at this jump, but I don't think he can hide forever. Michael, do you have any thoughts?
Um, I didn't. I didn't really have much interaction with Hardy. Um, I think he was on. Was he on my team in that dryball game?
Um, which one?
The drywall one.
Were you on the winning team of that or the losing team?
Well, we were the losing team
Then
actually.
no, I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Well, I feel like he was on my team for something. Um, but yeah, I don't know much about Hardy. I know he's a decent player. Um, but yeah, that's the one already I've got to say.
That's yeah. He I think physically if he makes it far he has a decent chance, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get there. Um Coming in at number 11. Now, if there's one person on this list I think Thomas would be like somewhat salty he didn't get to play too. It would be this person. So we have Blake, aka Balk1 GL. He is an OG of Gata Games. He was on season 1, and it was kind of after he came back from his big break of not being on Roblox, I reconnected with him, and he played like seasons 1 through fucking like 5. And I guess he was technically after your time. Um or before your time, and then you know what I mean. And Blake is someone I adore as a person. Um he's just like he's very open, he's very honest, very relatable, and I'm very happy to see him come back. It's been fucking 7 seasons now, which it feels like forever, but he was like if there was one person I'd wanted to see win Gatta Games like way before, like way back in the day, it was him. Now, I have him ranked this high because there are a lot of older people on here like Charlie or Caleb or like, you know, fucking Mikey that I think are gonna want to play with him. But maybe Jess too. But I don't know like how much he's gonna try after not being gone so long. And respectfully to him, he'll be the first one to admit he doesn't have like the Roblox skills to probably win this type of season. But that being said, he's won $8.38, been on 54 episodes, 20 challenge wins, 1-4 elimination record, one final, and 5 seasons played. So, he's not the best, but he's going to bring it this season. Like I said, social strategically, and those are the type of people we need. And I'm just happy he's back. I never thought he'd come back. So, thank you, Blake, if you're listening to this. Do you know this person at all, Michael, or no?
No.
Okay. Basically, he was kind of like in the Young Link Master like group, kind of right alongside Ballone's Big Brother, whatever, and then like he kind of left right before things kind of took off with all that shit around like 2014, 15. But yeah, moving on, we have number 10. Finally, someone Michael can talk about. We have, let me pronounce this username right. Fuck. Juriel, fucking Jonas. He has won $2, been on 18 episodes, has one challenge win, is 0-2 in the limbs, one final, 2 seasons played. Um, I love Jonas. I think he was great in both seasons he's been on. He's had pretty decent runs on both. Season 9 was very funny for him because he was like a replacement, managed to go all the way to the final. Obviously, he has like his connections with the Riley Adora group type people, but he's been someone outside of that always has always went out of his way to try to make connections with people that aren't in that said group, and that's something I respected out of him. And he's a very active social player. He doesn't really do the most physically. No shade towards him, but I love Jonas, and I'm happy he's coming back. We'll see what he can do. Michael, do you have any thoughts?
Yes, I've known Jonas for years now. he was like part of my old friend groups and all that other shit with like Alex Willett and Bart and all that. So he does have connections going into the game, with like Bart, Adore, Justina, Ape, Jason especially as well. So he can make it very far, I reckon. Um, yeah, it's hard for me to say anything nice about Jonas because we're always mean to each other. But yeah, I reckon he'll make it far. I don't know if he'll win because I don't think he has the physicality. Physicality. Oh my god, what is that word? To actually like win, but I reckon he'll make it deep. Because isn't it a single winner this season?
Yeah, there's one champion and one contender.
Oh right, okay, yeah. So I don't know if he would. I don't know if he will win, but I reckon he could make the finals.
Right. I think I put him in a similar boat. Um, I think the thing is with this format is for each person that comes back from the Marvel Mansion, the amount of people making the final goes up by one. So in a hypothetical scenario, we could have two people make the final, or we could have like fucking like 12 people make the final. There's a lot of variables that go into that, and he is someone that I could see here being at the end of the game making it to a final. Will it happen? I don't know, but I would love to see it. Um, Moving on to number 9, we have an X production member. We have J to the Cobb 333, who he has $15.81 won, 24 episodes, 6 challenge wins. He's never been in an elimination, 2 finals, and 2 seasons played. He played seasons 5 and season 6, so it's been 6 seasons for him too. He's took a long break. Jacob is very weird. I think strategically and socially, he's always been like fine, but he doesn't like. He's been fine. He's like such like the ideal person when I think of just like plays the game socially, but like you kind of forget he's there. Like he does it better than Jess because Jess is the type to like go to the whole season without going in elimination, but then she'll still like shit talk you along the way. Like you don't take shots at Jess. Jacob, you just like forget is there. Um, and I love that for him. He is someone that I think he does have quite he's played with a good amount of these people because there are a lot of old schoolers that he's played with. So I do think, and along with hosting, like I can't see him being like targeted by any of these people because I don't think he's like bold enough to open his mouth. Um, Physically, he plays Roblox, but I don't think he's like the best, at anything. But this is another, I could easily see him going 3 for 3 in finals, making it far, possibly winning his first elimination or losing his first elimination. But he is someone I really do want to see play, and I'm happy we get to see him come back. Um, Michael, is there anything?
I don't know him well enough to comment, but he was just on production last season, so that's not much I can really say. I know he filled in for you when you went AFK for like 2 hours in that dwelling of locks because you were lazy, but
Right?
that's all I can say.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't remember that happening. Um, Coming in at number 8, we have Jason. He has won $9.36, been in 13 episodes, 2 challenge wins, 1 elim win, 1 final, 1 season played. Um, I don't really know what to say about Jason. Like, he was kind of a sheep last season. Like, I'm sorry. Like, like, don't get me wrong. I know you guys had your like alliance, just whatever, pre-existing relationships, whatever, whatever. But Jason just like he didn't stand out for me as like having a stance on anything, which isn't a bad thing. But if these people like recognize how the game's gonna go, then I could see him easily having a target on his back for being people thinking, oh, these people are gonna enter the game, and him getting targeted because of that. Will I see that happening? I'm not entirely sure. I do think if that happens, like he may put in more social and strategic effort because I do think he can. He has the ability to be a social player and reach out to these people. I just think he felt he didn't have to last season, so he didn't. Um, I feel like he's decent, at Roblox. Like he did decent in the final, but do I think, like he has what it takes to win? I don't know. Michael?
Yeah, so apart from Bar, I think Jason's like my longest, like the person I've known for that longest amount of time. Um, and I know Jason can be really social. Both me and Thomas know that because like back in the day, it was like I always forget what the name was of the long term was, but it was me, Thomas, and Jason, and like both Thomas and Jason were like social tryhards. And it was just us three fighting each other the entire time. Um, but yeah, I think as long as Jason actually tries, I think he can make a really deep run. But I do see them targeting, like if they when they realize that champions are coming into the game, I do kind of see them targeting Jason and like other people like Jonas because there is so many champions with connections to them. There's so many champions with connections to them, so he may be in danger at the start of the game. But we'll see.
100%. Be interesting to see how he adapts. Um, we're in the top 7. This next person is an 8-time player of God of Games. He is Killer Caleb 9211. He's won $25.29. He's been in 70 episodes, 16 challenge wins, 2 and 5 elimination record, 3 finals, 8 seasons played. Um, yeah, Caleb's been to 3 finals. I think aside from Brody, that's like who has 4. Actually, no, Patrick has the most with 5, then Brody with 4, and then the people with 3. Caleb is someone that always typically, unless like something crazy happens, like season 7, he typically makes it pretty far into the game. He is someone that I think does go under the radar pretty well, and even if you are on the other side, he makes an effort to like make it seem like he's not the one pulling the strings or he's not the best at comps. So he's not going to be target. I don't think like the other group is going to be necessarily going for him because he knows kind of how to talk to them in a way that makes it so he's not targeted. Because honestly, they shouldn't be going after him because he's not the best when it comes down to these comps. I have him ranked here because I did see him on season 4 and it was one of my favorite seasons. He hated like the whole Marble Mansion twist, but maybe with there being one winner of all the contenders, maybe they'll still stay motivated. But I really am excited to see him come back. I think this is a really good cast for him, and I could see him making his 4th final. Michael, you played with him for one whole episode.
Yeah, I have so many opinions on him. No, I don't. I don't have anything. I'm sorry.
All right. Moving on to number 6. Let's get a little messier. This next one. I'm still gonna get shaded for putting this person not high enough, but I put Charlie at number 6. He has won $35.42, 76 episodes, 28 challenge wins, 8 and 5 elimination record. He actually played on season 4 when I did the Swiss as well. He made the final. There are multiple people on this season that have made the final. On season 4 with this said twist. The only person that's not here that did was Jelly. And so he has 8 seasons played. I think Charlie's going to be someone that's very hard to take out of this game because, he's not the best at comps and he does have an ego, he does have a temper, but at the same time, you got to get him to lose multiple times. And in like 3-person redemptions and 3-person like eliminations, at least at the start, like I think it's going to be very difficult. That being said, like I do think this is a good cast for him because he knows how to like work with both sides as well. He's a very shady player who tries to play the middle. And most of the time it works out for him unless your name's Dino, who seems to be his kryptonite on both his seasons played, which is like super fucking funny. Um, Charlie is someone that's made multiple finals, and he's never been like the best when it gets there, but he's like out of the people that have not won, I would say he's probably like either A or B tier when it comes to the contenders list that's on this season. So I do think he is the first person who I'm like actually talking about that I think if they make the final, they can win. Michael, do you have anything?
Yeah, I think he's really good at comps. I think if he does make that final, he can win definitely. I just feel like he needs to like not crash out like he did last season with Dino, and he'll be all good. I don't think Dino's on this season, is he? So, um, yeah, I think he'll be fine. But um, again, I can see him getting targeted again by like Abhay and all that. So I don't know. It depends on how if he wins. I don't know. I feel like he needs to win a lot to get far. But if he does make the finals, I reckon he can win.
Yeah, he stands a decent chance. Moving on to number 5. Whew. We have another person who has played multiple times in God of Games. They are a multiple time loser, unfortunately. They've played 8 seasons now. We have Mercenary Mikey, who has only ever made it to one final, mind you, which is like crazy on 8 seasons. He has won $16.45, been on 74 episodes, 20 challenge wins, 3-7 record, one final. Obviously, he made it on season 10. Him and Ethan couldn't get it together and unfortunately beat Bart, and so they ended up getting second place. Um, Mikey, he's coming off that big win in Survivor Long Terms, so we'll see how that affects his game. I think he does have a lot more connections this time around that he'll be decent with. Alex is right there, and then obviously Blake's coming back, someone he's close with, and there's a lot of other people, at least in the like beginning cast, that I don't think he has bad blood with, unless your name's like Shane. And him and Charlie always had this weird ass dynamic, so I think that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Um, Do you have anything to say about Mikey?
Um, I've played with I've played long terms with Mikey before, or at least short terms. And every time we've always aligned, and we've always been pretty good allies. So I imagine because of that, he probably will like be able to align with like again Justina, Adore, Ape, and all that. So if they get into the game early, I reckon he'll the more of those people that are in the game, the main game, I reckon he'll be more safe. Um, but yeah, I didn't know he won so long terms, but yeah, I reckon he'll do good.
Moving on to the top 4. Now this is probably like such a big jump on this person, and like I'm probably overhyping the fuck out of them. And so if this backfires, this is probably gonna be the last time I ever rank them this high. But at number 4, I have Flodos. It's crazy because he actually debuted on the Marvel Mansion season, got eliminated episode 1 to a luck limb. He has the record for most redemption wins with 6 before being eliminated eventually. He's won one a limb, 3 losses, but on 15 episodes. Um, what can I say? Like, I think generally he's like one of the best all around Roblox players. He's got really shafted by a lot of these like shitty eliminations. And that being said, he is very strategic, but like socially, he needs to put himself out there more. And I think it's gonna be funny, like him walking in and seeing like some of these same people he played that very same season on. And I don't know. I think last season he got really unlucky. I do think this season it could be different for him, as he got first boot last season. But we're just going to wait and see. I just want him to do well, honestly. Have a good run. I want him to make his first final. I do think if he makes it there, he's another person in that. I think he's in the S tier in terms of people that can win a final. So will he make it? I don't know, but I want to see him do good. Michael, do you have anything?
I don't know them. Sorry.
All right, moving on to the top three. We're gonna move on to someone from Michael's domain, the British. We're gonna start with this person is the richest person to never win God of Games. So O underscore transition and $48, 7 cents won, 56 episodes, 7-2, 7 challenge wins, 2-3 limb record. She won 5 redemption wins on season 4 to actually come back into the game before going home again. She's been to 3 finals on 5 seasons. Um, Jess is someone who like I always underestimate and forget how good her record is, and so for those reasons alone, I'm like not like ranking her that low. As much as Thomas probably doesn't want to admit it, Jess probably did like the best on their team in terms of that final. Um, she is someone who is will get in your face for like no reason whatsoever, even though she's in like such a good position in the game. And, she does have options this game because she can weigh playing the season the people she just did last time, or she can play with the people that she used to play with back in the day, like Caleb and Mikey and Alex and all those type of people. So she's another person who actually debuted on this season, and she represented them on season 10. So I'm really excited to see her come back in this format. I really do want to see Jess do well, make another final, and I would love to see her finally claim that win. That's what the season's all about, is seeing someone you've never seen win before, played multiple times, finally get their crown. So I would love to be Jess. Michael, your thoughts?
Yeah, I had never heard of Jess before last season. I had no idea who she was, and I don't actually think we spoke until like probably like towards the end of the season. But like it ended up being like Team UK. That was our little alliance name, Team UK. Um, so of course I'm rooting for her. I hope she does get far and win. Um, yeah, she was surprisingly good because I mean, she's it's kind of shocking to me that she was the best person in that final in their team because when we played that fucking crazy playing game or whatever it was, and like when it was a daily, Jess was completely useless. But like she was like the most useless person I've ever witnessed because I think she was drunk and she decided to play while she was drunk and she was just so I've never seen anyone like it. But um yeah,
She,
I think I think she's a really really good social player. Um Considering like I never knew her before, I think I probably would have prioritized her over a lot of people if um, our alliance was ever in danger because of the Team UK thing last season. So yeah, I do think she has a lot of good social game.
no, 100%. She has taken on Josh before. She has her elimination wins are pretty impressive for what it's worth. And I do think she could win. Moving on to number two, another person from season 4. It's kind of crazy. Like, we just did that season 10, and I have 3 of their team members in the top 4. So, this person, I think, if they make it to a final, they're probably one of the better equipped people to win it. Um, I have Alex Clovers, who has played 6 seasons, won $37.05, been on 63 episodes, 10 challenge wins. They currently hold the record for 16 elimination wins and 6 losses. They have 1 redemption win. They did make it to the final on season 4 and gave Patrick a run for his money. Um, 2 finals and 6 seasons played. The thing about Alex is like, I swear to God, if he like just took this game a little bit seriously, he'd be like a multi-time champion right now. Like it's not a question. He's the first person ever to be nominated for the Hall of Game that is not a winner, and he's just someone you do not want to go against. He's like one of the few people to take down Patrick in elimination. He has so many other good, iconic people he has taken out, and you do not want to see this man in elimination. So the fact that like for the first like third of the game, only you just can't get last in him definitely makes it so he's gonna be around for like a while, even if he's not socializing, he's not talking at all. Like he has a good amount of connections that people aren't gonna be targeting him anyway. Um, so I do hope he does well. I wouldn't mind seeing him be the first, being the winner, but will he have the energy or the drive? I just don't know. Michael, do you have anything to say?
Not really. I don't really know the person. Sorry.
You're good? Moving on to number one. This person is the person I believe probably number one on my power rankings. And looking at things now, maybe it's a bit of a reach, but I think this person has the social and strategical chops. They are willing to make messier moves. It's just, you know, I appreciate everything they bring socially, strategically in the confessional. They're actually supposed to be on last season before they dropped out last minute. Um, and they've kind of had a rough go going home like right before the final in season 9. Season 8 they didn't get to play in the final. Like season season 10 they kind of got screwed a little bit. So we have Timmy XO, who's played 3 seasons, has a 5-2 elimination record, won 12 challenges and been on 35 episodes and won 7 hours and 47 cents. I don't know, just something about me just feels like Timmy's gonna do really good this season. He has a lot of older connections with like Charlie, and he's good with Jess. He's good with like Jonah. Like I think like a lot of these people I could see him working with. So I think that's very good for him. I think his issue is going to be these champions that come in. I think if he doesn't like, he I don't think he has the best relationship with the Adore side of people and the other side of people like Josh and them. He's not like the closest of friends with, so I don't really know what to expect. But I do think he has what it takes to be a winner if he makes the final. Michael, is there any thoughts on him or no?
Not really. I know I played the season with him last season, but I didn't actually speak to him, so I can't really comment.
All good. Before we move on, do you have a winner pick among the contenders if you had to choose one person right now?
Um, I don't know.
No?
Part of me,
Give me one name.
part of me wants to go for like a random pick and say Jonas, but I also don't think so. But like if I was to be realistic, I feel like Jess may win. Thinking about it,
Wow. I'm gonna go. Oh God, I don't even know. There's so many. It's just weird to me, like looking at these people that have lost like 8 fucking times to think one of them's gonna finally win. But I'm gonna go with. I don't want to steal yours, so I'll go with. I'll stick to my gut and just say Timmy. Be boring. Um, yeah, those are the 20 contenders. One of them will become a God of Games champion, which is crazy. I think they're going to be shook once they see the twist. And hopefully they're not too mad about it and don't try to quit. But you never know. Um, let's move on. So I did the same thing for the 11 champions, except I ranked them 11 through 1. Obviously, there's not that many of them. Um, Yeah, I think this one is a lot more physical than the other ranking where that one's more social, physical, strategic. This one's like 90% physical because at the end of the day, there's so many good people here and for the champions, they have to win their way into the game. Like otherwise they're going to redemption right away. So, I think that's going to make it very difficult for them because they can't just, play the game like everyone else. So at number 11, I actually have a Hall of Gamer. This person got inducted this year. And they're one of my close friends. I've met them up in person a couple times. I have washed underscore ravioli, aka Zach. He's won $19.53. He's been in 52 episodes, 13 wins. He's only been in 2 eliminations, splitting them 1 and 1. His loss being to Patrick, by the way. And he's been to 3 finals, and he's won 1 time all the way back in season 1. He's been on 4 seasons, and he hasn't played all the way since season 8. I know you guys don't know Zach. I mean, Thomas, you played with him, I guess, but like the thing about Zach is he's like a very social kind of player, but he doesn't have like the relationships because he doesn't play Roblox long terms. He kind of just does these because like I'm his friend, I guess you could say. Like he's his number one is gonna be Caleb. He's gonna be close with Patrick, and I think from there he might kind of reconnect with some of the older people he played with back in his like 4 appearances. But like he's played seasons 1, 2, 5, and like it's not like he's there all the time. You know, people are move on from him. And the reason I have him this low is just because I don't think physically he has what it takes. You know, like he's not he will admit he's not that good at Roblox. And you know, I love him for that. But he just you know, I struggle and I really hope he at least makes it into the game and has a chance to play. I'll feel really bad if he doesn't. Um I'm assuming you don't have anything to say, Michael.
No, I don't know the person. Sorry.
All right. Well, the good news is we're gonna move on to someone I think you're pretty familiar with. We're gonna move on to this next person. Um, Arm X Flailer. They have won $14.43, 51 episodes, 20 challenge wins, 1 and 4 elim record, 2 finals, 1 championship, and 6 seasons played. Honestly, Tanner is someone who, kind of along with Zach, just based on like trajectory, kind of peaked on their first win, their first season, because they did win, you know, season 1. Um, And, you know, in all honesty, had I done the finals how I do them now, where you time out after an hour, like a lot of these people would have never won, and Patrick would have won season 1. It would have been kind of boring. But, you know, times were different back then. And I love Tanner. I think he surprises me a lot, but he also just, like, he doesn't care about this type of series as much as he does, like, a Survivor Big Brother game. Like, I know he had a pretty good run in SL recently. And I do think he has some, you know, decent connections. Like he's always been kind of close with like, you know, not necessarily Adora, but like that group of people. So I do think they'll definitely protect him. But he's another person who I think, you know, could get upset if like, you know, it isn't an upset if he goes into that elimination round against some good contenders and he could be end up losing, not even have a chance to be in the game, which I have to add, like if you lose that elimination and you're a champion trying to enter, you still go to the mansion. Like it's not over. But I love Tanner. Like socially he's good. I just don't think he has what it takes to win. Michael?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know Tanner. Um, the only like actual interaction with him was back in like 2018 or 2017 in like my original Survivor long term season. Um, he was like my number one ally throughout the whole season. But I remember him being like really good physically, and that was years and years ago now. So he must have been gotten better. So there is potential for him to be really good physically now. That's all I really can say about him because I haven't probably spoken to him since then. So
That's fair. Um After Tanner we have number 9. We have person you guys are both actually currently playing a long term with. We have Spoony Joe. Spoony is another person who I just think falls within the same category as Zach and Tanner. They peaked on their first season. Spoony won with Pixie Pizza, one of the best, you know, comp beast of Roblox. She has $29 to her name, 39 episodes, 6 challenge wins, 4 and 6 elim record, 1 final, 1 championship, 7 seasons played. And I don't get me wrong, I love Spoony. I just think like physically, I don't think she has what it takes to win an individual season. There's nothing wrong with that. She still provides socially, strategically. She has the opportunity to play the middle. She has before. It's just when one side gets too much power, they like realize she's there and they're like, nah, we ain't fucking with that. Or like if the minority is targeting someone, sometimes they go for the lower member of the totem pole and Spoonie gets targeted. Um, so I don't know. I like Spoonie. I just don't think, with SL still going on, I don't think there's gonna be her main focus. So my expectations aren't the highest for her, but I appreciate everything she brings. And, it's another season, so maybe she'll surprise me again and return to her former glory. Michael?
Um, I won't say much, but I do think there is potential just because she was put on the Brawn tribe for Survivor long terms. Um, so there is that potential there because she wouldn't just been placed on there for no reason. And but then again, Thomas's tribe is shit, so you know it doesn't take much to beat them. So
Real. Um, Moving on. Our next person is someone that previously actually just won. They got very lucky that Brody actually lost that elimination because I think had that not happened, I think that they would have been losing with Thomas and Jess. So we have Justina. Justina obviously only played one season, but obviously last season she did manage to win, and she got $29.31, 13 episodes, two challenge wins, two elim wins, one final, one championship, one season played. I think Justina is someone that I think will branch out more. I do have faith in her for that. It's just I feel like because of how the game worked, I wasn't able to see much of her physically, and I think just I have a little more data on the people I ranked ahead of her, so I couldn't really rank her that much higher. And I do think like this is another one of those seasons where like for a while I think Adora's group and Riley's group and all those people have been dominating. I think this could be a season where like finally it kind of goes back to how it was and the tables turn. But I think we're just gonna have to wait and see. Do you have any thoughts, Michael?
yeah, I don't think Justina's the best physical player. I don't. I mean, Justina have never been like super close, but we've like had friend groups and like intertwining friend groups for years now. Um, but I know she's a good social player, and she's really funny, so that could get her a long way. And she won the final, so even though like Riley probably carried her, no shade. Um, yeah, I do think there is potential for her to win. I reckon it'd be hard for her to win, but I reckon she could win.
100%. Making our way into the top 7 for champions, we have someone who is in the Hall of Game as well. He's number 5 in terms of money won. We have Triplet Threat J, two-time winner of GOTA Games. He's won $49.35, 49 episodes appeared, 12 challenge wins, 7-2 elim record, 3 finals, 2 championships, 5 seasons played. I do really like Triplet. I just don't think physically, like I've seen him in an individual season. Like he made the final the last time we did this twist. And, he lost to like Alex, he lost to Patrick, he lost to Charlie. Um, he lost to fucking there's someone else for Caleb, I think. Like I don't and Triplet knows I love him, but like he is very good when it comes to like the challenge games, but when it comes to like these Roblox type of things, like eh, I love him, but like he's not the best. He still wins eliminations. He's if he goes in, but he's not the best at like the dailies by far. He's gonna be someone that probably works with Josh and Patrick and those type of people. I don't think he's gonna be the most proactive socially strategically. I just can't rank him any higher because, like I said, like I don't think physically he has what it takes to win an individual season. I'd love for him to prove me wrong, but on this cast, I think it's gonna be very tough, especially when people are coming back from redemption. Do you know him at all, Michael, or no?
Unfortunately, not no.
All right, yeah, he hasn't played since season 8, in which I believe he lost like a double elimination to like Adora and Kate. Um, but yeah. Moving on to number 6. This person was actually just on last season. He obviously is a champion of Data Games. I have Tyler, aka B Winter T. He's won $30.24. Been on 30 episodes, won 7 challenges, has a 3-1 elim record, 2 finals, 1 championship, 3 seasons played. He unfortunately is someone that as of now did peak on his first season, but Tyler, I think he's just a really chill dude. He's a hard person to hate, in my opinion, but he is someone that doesn't stand for like some of the people's antics and stuff, and he will get frustrated if he feels like someone, is going too far. So I do think after what happened last season, he's gonna be an active force against that group, and I think we're gonna ultimately see a power struggle. And if he's more proactive, I could see that putting a target on his back. But I'm excited to see this season out of him. I know he's very busy with his work, but I do still think when he comes down to it and he's got to go in the sand, I think, he has what it takes. Do you have anything to say about Tyler, Michael?
I've not really had much interaction with him, I'm not gonna lie, so I can't really comment.
That's valid. Um, we went to our top 5. Now, this person probably could have won last season had they not like pissed me off. So I ended up dropping them from the cast. I don't even know if I had them on to begin with, but I knew I wasn't casting them for basically quitting on season 10, which probably pissed them off considering their whole friend group dominated the whole game. But I have Adore at number 5. Now, Adore, when put under the pressure, can turn it on, but Adore is very sketchy, very sus. Like we have to keep an eye on them in terms of like the cheating allegations because obviously close friends with Hazel and Alexia. We watched that whole fucking thing go out, and then obviously like traded information with Alex about the games in the finals, so that would like piss me off a lot. And like if Adore never did that, Alex Willett would be a champion. If Alex and so like Alex literally gave her the win, like so I don't know like how to feel about it, but Adore is just such a interesting personality. She will get in your face, but she can sort of back it up in the ring. She's not the best, but I do think 5 is a decent placement for her. I just think there are more people that are better equipped for a final. Although, so I don't know. She has $40.50 won, 29 episodes, 9 wins, 9 challenge wins, 4-2 elim record, um, 1 final, 1 championship, 4 seasons played. Do you have any? What are your thoughts on Adore, Michael?
Yeah, I think there's 3 people in this Champions cast that like if if I was like anyone else and I wasn't friends with at least 2 of them, I'm not friends with the other one, but um I would be like targeting them because they are clearly the biggest threats, and Adore is one of them. Adore's very physical. She's very. I would say she's social, but I think she's just really like dominant in her conversations. That she just sort of takes over the game. Um, she plays like every long time I've played with her or seen her play, she always dominates. Um, but yeah, I think if I was anyone else, I would be targeting Adore. But if I was playing this season, I'd probably align with her. If I'm being totally real, and then try and get her out like towards the end.
No, 100%. Um, I think regardless, I mean, she's even said you guys have read in the messages she wants to enter the game first. So I think honestly, like if she does that, it's gonna be like lighting a match in a fucking wooden house. Like it's gonna be crazy because Adoris she's gonna walk in and not see any friends, and like with this format, it's like if she's not winning the daily or friends aren't winning the daily, she could be going in elimination after elimination for a while until she gets reinforcements. Which even then, it's like if she's one going in, and then you have like the other person she goes in against, and then you have like one of her champion friends could be going in, and it's like there's like 2 and 3 chance one of them go home right there. So it'd be interesting for sure. At number 4, we have another Gen 2 2026 Hall of Gamer. I have Jash to Jash. He has won $32.74, 50 episodes appeared, 16 challenge wins, 5-3 elimination record, 2 finals, 1 championship, 5 seasons played. Josh is someone who, like, regardless of what he does, he always has a big impact on his season. Like, he went home in Uno, in which, he was a monstrous presence in season 1. Season 2 obviously goes on to win, running most of the game. Season 3, he still has his connections. He makes it to the final. He comes back, plays another time, and comes up just short, losing the round before the final to Jess and AJ. And then last season, we saw him on season 10. He was like, a large part in why his team was winning all the fucking challenges before he got like slayed in some like GeoGuessr game, which is kind of funny. But I love Josh. I'm friends with him. I think the issue with him is like some of these people like pick at him, and it's a lot of it is unwarranted. And he just ignores the fuck out of them. Is like the funniest part. But like I do think without Riley here, it might be a little less, but Adora is still there, so I don't really know. But I do think physically he has had a string of bad luck, but him playing in a Redemption House format is going to be very, very hard to get rid of him. So if he's not at the final, I'll probably be very shocked. And I do think he's the type of person that like has the energy and drive enough to try to practice a few games he might think will be there. So I could see him um winning this game easily. Michael,
And no comment. I don't really know him enough, to be honest.
Boston Rob Mariano, he's like from your time period.
Who, sorry?
Your old name was like Boston Rob Mariano.
Oh, yeah. That rings a bell.
Mm-hmm.
I've not heard that name in ages. Fucking hell.
No, they're an OG.
Um,
I know Thomas
yeah,
knows him.
Jesus. Yeah, I've heard of him. I've definitely played with him. Probably short terms, right?
Yeah.
That fucking, what was that bald guy's name? Like the Survivor short term.
Ball, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't really know him enough to like comment, but I do know of him, I guess.
Right. Moving on to our top 3. This next person, I have at number 3, but after last season, they can argue for number 1, but I just have them 3 due to lack of data. We have the robot voice themselves. We have Abhay, who has won $39.66, 13 episodes, appeared 3 eliminate challenge wins, 1-1 elimination record technically because of the face-off, 1 final, 1 championship. Another person all 4 of the top 4, I honestly see making the final. In this format, there's room for like the champions to easily dominate, and I think a large part of the people that are going to be in the final are going to be the champions. And I do see Abhay being like the physical leader of the group in terms of that side of the house. Um, and I think it's gonna be very interesting to see Abhay without Riley. Obviously, like Justina's there, and like other people, like Jason's there, like Adore. I'm assuming she's friends with Adore, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I am excited to see how she navigates this game, coming back with like a known threat level this time. Um, Michael, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the way I see it, I feel like Justina and Abhay are like a duo. They're like inseparable, and I feel like where Abhay lacks socially, Justina carries socially, and where Justina lacks physically, Abhay carries physically. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they could both like take each other to the end if they like play it right. But yeah, I do see Abhay winning if she does make it to the final.
100%. Moving on. To in top 2. This next person, the last final we saw them on, they kind of ate shit, which was on season 9. Last season they lost to a fucking Scrabble elimination. Michael, you played your RLS season with them, so we're gonna talk about Patrick real quick. He is the second richest person in God of Games history. He is the most amount of finals appeared in, $125.02 won, 74 episodes, 23 challenge wins, 12 elimination wins, 2 losses, 5 finals, 2 championships, 7 seasons played. He won the original Marble Mansion season without even losing one elim, so the fact that you'd have to get him out twice and he's only ever lost twice makes me think he's pretty much a lock to make the final. I will say, as seasons progress, the competition has only gotten more intense. So I do think I could easily see him in a final, I do think he's going to have to step up his game a little if he's going to want to beat the likes of like Abhay and Josh and the next person we're going to talk about. But overall, I think Patrick, if you're a contender, like you want him on your side. And unless you're like, on the other side of the house, then he shouldn't be someone that like they're going for. So I think he's gonna have plenty of connections this season, more than he has in a while. So I'm curious to see how that helps him out. Michael?
Yeah, I'll make it really clear. I don't like Patrick, and Patrick doesn't like me. We had a really big rivalry in RLS. But I can respect he's a very good physical player. And he's quite good socially as well. I mean, he's better than me socially anyway.
That's not saying much.
Hmm?
What?
Hmm?
Anyway, go on.
Anyways. Sorry. But anyways, I was, yeah. Hold on 2 seconds. So I'm currently dying. Yeah, but what I was saying was, he's very good physically, and he's quite a good social player. But let me remind you, I was the person who beat him in the POV and sent him home. So, if I can beat him, other people can beat him. Hell, Justina can beat him. So,
Oh, wow.
I'm rooting for his downfall, but he is a very good contender to win.
And number 1, someone that you got to run the final with, the Polish Punisher. We have the richest person in God of Games history. He's won $125.45, 29 episodes, 8 challenge wins, 4-1 elimination record, 2 finals, 1 championship, 2 seasons played. Bart, honestly, like, Bart is like looking like, the next lock for Hall of Fame at this point in time. Like, Bart is a beast. And it's crazy to me that after like season 10, and I mean, obviously, like the other side never had the numbers, but he like cakewalked to the final last season. And like, if I'm Patrick or any of these other people, like I have to take note of that and make that move. I think someone like Josh will notice that, but I don't know if like they're gonna act on it. You know what I mean? Like, he's another person, sort of like Jason, where like he doesn't feel like he like goes and does that much socially, but because I'm not talking Jason when I say he's like physically that good, but Bart is like that good. Um, that's why I have him at number 1. I think Bart's issues come from duo or team season game because he has to unmute his mic and he has to talk. But when it's just him, he is a fucking menace, and that's why I have him at number 1. I think it's hard. It's gonna be hard. He's the newest face in terms of God of Games game bots. What are your thoughts, Michael?
I think everyone knows that Bart is my ride or die. Like me and Bart would never ever take each other out in anything. I've been his friend for years now. He's very, very good physically. I've never known someone so good at literally everything. I mean, like in not even in just Roblox, he's good at like literally anything you can think of. And it makes me jealous every single day of how talented he is, good at stuff. I don't even want to kiss his ass, but he just is. And it just pisses me off. But I think the one thing that Bart lacks all the time is his social gameplay. Because I feel like because he's so good physically, he just doesn't give a shit socially. And that could get him thrown into a lot of eliminations this season because, as we say, there could be like a two-sided house this season. And if I was the other side of the house, I'd be targeting Bart and Adore. And yeah.
100%. Yeah, that's the whole cast. That's 31 people now, like we did with the contenders. Michael, who is your winner pick for the champions?
It's, I'm on the same boat as you. I think it's either between Bart or Patrick. I think Abby could win as well, though.
If I had to pick one, I'm gonna say Josh. I think if he makes it, I think he's gonna be the person that like wants it the most. Because he said he didn't like how things ended last time. So I think if he's able to make it, I think he takes it. But yeah, that is basically it. This season, it's gonna be a long one, guys. I I'm not even gonna like lie and gaslight and say, oh, this season's going, but no, like this one, we are in for a slog. We have the Redemption House. We have 15 in-game rounds. We have the Champions clashes. So overall, I think I picked out like overall there's gonna be. I mean, dailies alone, it's 15. Eliminations, there's 30. Champions rounds is 6, and then like up to like 30 redemptions. So it's like over fucking like 70 games, right? So it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a fun season. It's gonna be one for the record books. $220 up for grabs, the most money ever. So I'm very excited. I'm very grateful to have these new production members here with me. So once again, Michael, Thomas, thank you once again for being here.
You're welcome. Sorry for being sick.
No, you're good. You can't control that. But yeah, if you're listening to this, don't shade me. Who knows when the fuck this one's gonna come out? The last podcast hasn't even been released yet, so I will talk to you guys on the flip side. And from God of Games, this is Norlano Soprano out.